cmpradio.net. It's the station.
Episode. This is a tough. Check. Welcome back to our episode. Tonight we are going to be talking about something very, very heavy. We're going to be talking about femicide. We're going to be talking about the multiple women that have been murdered this past month. But before we get into that, I want to welcome you. Welcome to our show. We're here live at CMP Radio. CMP Radio is the only independent radio station in Chester, and they give the community a voice. And speaking of voices, it is so important. Although some of our views, some of our opinions might be a little different than what the radio station, might believe, we are still allowed to talk about our feelings and our experiences, and that is so important, especially with this topic that we're going to be talking about tonight. Yeah, allowing people to talk about and to share things that you may not necessarily agree with is the first step. I feel like it's the first step. But welcome to Rooted in Real Delva Diaries.
We come together to share our real life experience and to uplift one another through honest conversations. We speak as one to inspire many.
That's our mission statement, folks. So we are going to talk about, like she said, the subject today that is going to be the voice for so many women.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So many women that doesn't have the opportunity to speak and can't speak no more, or women that want to speak but can't. We want to welcome you all to watch today and comment and tell us your stories. You can message us privately as well to share if you don't want it public. But tonight is a real conversation that needs to be had. And it's been, let's get into it.
So we do want to have a little disclaimer. And Christine is usually really good at saying this, but if you have any children around, just be very careful. We are going to be sharing graphic details about incidents that have happened over the years and recently. So just a heads up. And for those of you that are wondering, okay, what is this subject going to be about anyway? I want to give a clear definition of femicide, at least a part of it. But the concept of femicide
was introduced by South African sociologist Diana Russell in the 1990s. And she defined it as the murder of women because of their sex. That's probably the most basic definition of femicide. This approach that she took highlighted, it highlights the gendered and structural nature of this crime against women. So we're going to talk a little bit more and expand on the definition of this and its impact on society globally and in different countries. And of course, specifically here in America, because that's where we live. So that's a good definition or an understanding of what femicide is.
Yep. And can I just say what triggered this conversation?
Yeah.
So this conversation was triggered probably a few weeks ago. And I want to publicly apologize to my sister Dominique because she was the first to say we should talk about this. And I said, no, it's too sad. It's too depressing. I don't think we should talk about it. It's triggering. And then, I had to eat my words because the day after, there was a woman that was murdered in Florida. And then the next week, it was another woman. And then the next week, it was another woman. And it was so blatant in my face. And I felt like God was saying, you know what, Christina? Yeah. And I had to call my sister and apologize and say, I'm so sorry. But I do think that femicide is a topic that needs to be covered because, one, it's happening every single day. And yes, it's depressing and sad, but we have to talk about it. And God put it on my heart definitely to come back and say thank you for wanting to do it. Thank you for sticking to the topic and saying, Christina, I disagree with you. I think we should talk about it. And now we are. And it's so, so important. So that's kind of what triggered the conversation for tonight because of there's been so many women that's just been murdered in the United States within the last month. And we're talking about high-profiled women. Not even talking about the ones that aren't famous or online that are getting killed every day and don't have a face and a name or a voice. That body's just sitting in the morgue. We're talking about, so it's a problem. It's an issue. And we're going to say their names tonight. Right. We're going to say their names.
And you're seeing so many. So far, we're in April. So we're in the 4th month of 2026, and already that has been filed. There's 145 female victims in actually 156. I'm sorry, it's 156 gun-related murder this year
That we know of.
That we know of already in the U.S. So now it's not even other countries. In the U.S. alone, in the first 4 months, first quarter of the year, we already have 156 deaf females that were murdered this year.
Before we go deeper, do we mind just saying their names? Whoever has that list, can you go ahead and just say the name of the woman, in particular the cases we're going to look at tonight, the name of the profiles we're talking about tonight. And if we miss a name, we apologize. I don't think we're going to cover every woman, but we're going to cover the women that were brought to our attention through our own research and just what came up on our social news feeds. So can we say their names?
We have Nancy Mateer Bowen. She's one that really, her story connected with me a lot. We have Serena Fairfax. That's over in Virginia.
Yeah.
That's 2.
And then we have, I think I'm saying her name right, Khalees Honduras, the 14-year-old. That was,
okay.
But the claim is she was murdered by performer David. And then I have a list of non-namers. And then I think those are the 3. How about the woman that got the influencer that got murdered in Tanzania?
Ashley, I believe.
Yeah, Ashley Janae. Ashley Janae. That's another one.
Esther Pierre. Esther Pierre is probably the story that got my attention first. That kind of ignited me to say, hey, I think we should talk about this. She was an influencer and advocate in Florida, mother of 2 boys, if I'm not mistaken. And according to the information that I received, her husband murdered her and then killed himself. Shot her and then shot himself.
Yeah.
Was she Haitian?
She was Haitian.
So that's 2 Haitian women on our list. The Nancy Bowen. She was a Haitian vice mayor in Coral Spring, Florida, that was also murdered by her husband. But he didn't kill himself. He's in custody right now.
Yeah.
So that's, it's extremely unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have the woman not a couple weeks ago that was stabbed several times right here on 9th and Barkley, right near Chester High.
Wasn't she shot?
No, I heard the gunshots. The police shot
the guy.
the man that stabbed her. I was
The woman died, and there was a man. It was 2 adults that died,
okay.
and then the person that was the offender got killed by the cops.
Right. He went off on like 3 different people is what you're saying too.
Yeah.
And then they were trying to get him to stop and they shot him. I was getting groceries out of my trunk, bringing them in my house when I heard the shots. Yeah. And I was like, that's not firecrackers. And then sure enough, the next day I found out what happened. And then I was coming home. What's today? Thursday?
Today's Thursday.
I was coming home yesterday from jiu-jitsu. And I saw a bunch of cops on 9th
Street.
9th and Morton, like between Morton Avenue where the Social Security building.
I heard it yesterday night while I was in my kitchen.
All it was like
9th
racked
and
with
Morton,
police.
so that's on the east side.
Yeah, I heard him. I heard it.
And he shot his girlfriend in the back. I think they're both, and then they shot him. I don't know their condition. I don't know that anyone died. But I know some of you might be saying, this has been happening. It's nothing new. It's not. But I personally don't hear a lot of talk about it. And if immediate action can't be taken, or like if we can't change anything, the least we could do is just bring attention to it and get people thinking about what they can do, or getting help, getting therapy.
Yeah, and yeah.
So do you guys think that it's on the rise, or that it's being covered more lately for a reason? And is there an agenda? Just like we were saying in a previous episode, when election time is here, we'll see a lot of the
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, a lot of the murders, police, brutality type videos resurfacing, especially a few months before the election. So do you guys think that it has always been happening and it just maybe was not covered, or it is definitely on the rise?
I think it's a combination of also we in the social media era.
Okay.
So I think we are more connected globally and aware of a lot of things that go viral. So with things going viral now, we are more aware of what's going on around the world.
Okay.
Is there a rise? I'm not sure. But
Okay.
I also feel like nowadays, especially in America, I feel like a lot of people are stressed out. A lot of people are depressed. The tension is high. People overwhelmed. We're stuck. Like everywhere we go, people like, we're not relating. We're losing our personal skills. We're losing our soft skills due to lack of interaction with each other. And I think people probably getting triggered easy, where we can't have enough self-control to walk away. So we just react.
Okay.
I think that's a part of what we're seeing as well.
What happens is we have these devices and other things that are wrecking our nervous system.
Right.
And because
right.
we're trying to keep up with the next bill, the next meal, the next activity, the next self-care, the next everything that we've covered so far, we are not actually taking the time to regulate our nervous system so that we're not being easily triggered, or spazzing out, or road rage, or complete meltdowns, or depressive states. And I'm talking to myself too. I this week we covered the topic of mindfulness, self-aware, regulating yourself, meditating. In my Boost program, we did this at CCSA with our 9th and 10th graders. And our fellow from Widener, shout out to Bella, I gotta send her a link for this. She did a guided meditation with the students, and she had us sitting in our chairs. We were breathing, we were following the instructions, being guided. And I remember hearing the guided meditation and feeling in tune with myself, and I just wanted to start crying. And I was thinking about different things that was going on in my personal life. They were a little bit of a struggle, but it surprised me how much of an urge, like I felt like a cough. But instead of coughing, I felt like I wanted to cry. And I don't think we do that enough. And maybe we wouldn't have to do it if we were living in a day and age where we were more in tune with nature, interacting with nature more, whether it was planting, gardening, yielding or tilling the ground or stuff like that. I think that we would already automatically be grounding ourselves. And you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm trying to say?
I get
So who needs to be doing the grounding?
Everyone.
The women or the
Everybody.
Everyone.
Children.
So I want to jump in here. So to answer that question as well, why do we think that there's an increase in these cases? I'm gonna say no. There has been domestic violence against women for generations, and that's not to say that men don't go through domestic violence. That's not true. Men do go through domestic violence. There are men that are beaten and things like that. But today we're going to focus on these stories that are happening. So we're addressing women. And I think it's been going on for the longest time, especially with Black women who's on the bottom of the totem pole, right? We've been being killed and beaten on all fronts. So I don't think this is new. I think Natalie touched on it, that since we have social media, therefore it's more accessible to hear the stories. And it's just not national, it's global. So we're able to hear about the young lady that got, American woman that got murdered in Africa by her fiance. She got engaged and then he killed her. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot of it. I think in the past month, the women that have been killed have been high-profiled women, which is then bringing attention to the issue. But there's been anti-domestic violence agencies, safety houses, and all that for centuries, right? So I don't think it's anything new. I think that it's just in the forefront because of the high-profile cases, and this has been going on forever, and it needs to be talked about it more. And women need to feel comfortable to come out and say it. I saw this video where it was a young woman. She marked her arm, and it was a young white woman, and it was her boyfriend, but they were recording it. It was a social experiment. She wrote on her arms, "Help me. I'm being abused." And it was either a train station or a mall. It was high density people. She unfolded her arm when the dude wasn't with her, boyfriend wasn't with her, and was showing it to people. And people walked by, ignored her, did nothing, and just pretended like she wasn't there. And then when her boyfriend came up, snatched her, and you could tell like he was being rough and aggressive, they still did nothing and kept moving.
Where was this?
It was like a reel I saw that was on Facebook. That was a social experiment that they did But that speaks to, was it 2 or 3 years ago? The woman that got raped on the train.
Oh, yeah.
And then instead of
On the Orange
anybody
Line.
helping her, nobody helped her. Everybody pulled out their phone and recorded the rape, though. That's the type of society we are in. So as women, I feel like this is why we need to talk about it. And women need to feel like they can come forward and say something. Because if they say something, is anything going to happen, or are you going to pull out your phone on me and record me while the incident is taking place?
There's this kind of piggybacking off what you said. So there's a book called Women, Violence, and Crime, Implications for Women's Safety and Security. This book is by Radford J. and Stanko. It was written in 1991. And I just think that it's an interesting read. I've never read it, but I've read excerpts from it, and especially as it applies to today's episodes. But it talks a lot about how there's a disregard to the immediate help of women that are not safe. You know, this is why we have that hand signal. But it ties into so many areas, like how women were treated when it came to medicine, the practice of medicine.
Yeah. Well, Black women.
You know, and how we are not given immediate attention sometimes when it comes to our pain. But there's this story in particular. I'm gonna, if you guys are okay with it, I'm gonna share it. It's a very graphic story, but
Okay.
I don't want to get just yet. I know you were gonna say something.
No. I was gonna say real quick, when Christina, when you said when people are witnessing the abuse, are you just gonna pull out your phone and just start recording? Another part is, are you gonna say, did it really happen? Are you sure that's what's going on? You know,
Well, that's none of my business.
I'm not getting involved. That's domestic. I'm not getting involved. Or, you know, what did you do? Or what were you wearing? You know, to invite this kind of behavior, and this kind of abuse. Sometimes, women, do you know we can play a part in the abuse? Like if you get in his face and your fingers all in his face and you're cursing, and not saying that the man is much stronger, you can get away, walk away, but I don't know. Most of the time, that's not the case. Most of the time, it is abusive because you just have the power to. And you don't want to come forward, and it's embarrassing. You might not even be ready to leave, and you don't want to get people involved because it's like, what's the point? I might go right back. Or people are afraid of getting involved. It's like, I helped you the last time and you went right back to
I was
him.
about to say that.
You know? So whatever scenario it is, we still have to get involved and try to help. Sometimes it takes leaving 6 or 7 times. And if they keep going back, still be there. Don't wash your hands of them. Don't give up on them. That's what I wanted to add about.
They say it takes about 7 times.
Yeah. And just really try hard not to say things like, you know, are you sure? Are you sure that's what's going on? Or, you know, just try to be supportive and be listening.
But a lot of times, so with the viral thing, we're in an age where we gotta. If we didn't record it, it didn't happen. I want to say I was there and I saw it. Where, all right, you saw it, you was there, but it's embarrassing that you didn't do anything. It's embarrassing as a society that you could literally. What's more important is recording the moment versus helping a human being that's being hurt or, you know, that's being taken advantage of and hurt and abused. So we need to be more aware of our instincts. Like our instinct is to record. When our instincts should be, our first reaction should be to help. Because we are on this planet to serve and love people. And if we see somebody being hurt, our civil duty is to, you might be afraid. You might be afraid of getting hurt yourself. Then contact authorities or someone who can help versus just sitting there being a useless bystander. And the other thing is a lot of domestic situations. I was just talking to a good friend of mine before we got on the show about domestic violence and helping that person, because you might get caught in the crossfire. Or in a lot of situations where with domestic violence, the one being abused sometimes defend the abuser and back up the abuser. This is kind of going on a tangent, but we're speaking about helping and stuff like that. We also need to be aware of how we can help. What are the safe ways of helping someone in a domestic situation? Because we don't want to become a victim as well. You know, because a lot of times you won't get defended by the person being abused. You be left alone with yourself. And my friend was telling me there was a case in the Bronx that the friend did go over to help because the friend, the woman being abused called her friend. And the friend went over to help. The husband, I don't know, but the significant other ended up killing her, the friend that came to help. And the abused spouse helped the man hide the body.
What?
Yes. Help dispose of the body, chop the body up and all that. So, I mean, it's a fine line, but if you feel unsafe, I would never advise to go by yourself in a situation like that. I was in a situation where I needed to help a friend as well, but I got other males, male to male. I'm not getting involved in a domestic situation because I am a woman. I feel unsafe as well. And I want to get the best person possible to help you. So I got other males involved, and they went in a group to assist this friend that I have to help her in her situation. And another part, dealing with domestic violence, the sad part is a woman can call the police. And this is another layer of this. Our authorities doing the most that they're able to do to protect those women, because a lot of times they don't listen to the woman, they brush it off. I've witnessed this firsthand myself. I've never been in a domestic I've been in a domestic situation, but it wasn't repetitive. It was like something happened, and I went to court to try to get a PFA, and they gave me a temporary PFA because the person didn't come to court. So I'm like, of course they're not going to come to court because they're going to get arrested. Like, why? So the system itself is not protecting women. And you could be in the hospital, hospitalized, all the proof videos. And a lot of times the woman's like, oh, well, we'll give you a temporary PFA. How is a PFA going to keep him from breaking into your home and killing you? Arrest the man, or I think there should be more regulations and policies in place to help women that are battered and being abused. There was this girl, oh my God, I can't remember her name, but she ended up killing her abuser and ended up getting locked up for it. There's a whole petition going on for that. Is that recent?
That is recent.
I think I have it right here. There was like video of her being abused.
Yeah.
Her name.
She has all the proof of the abuse, and I'm not gonna say finally killed them, but
she broke.
First of all, are we supposed to? I've been hearing a lot of the term unalive instead of kill. Is that a thing that now it's like she unalived him? Is that what
That's like social. That's just so to respect viewers' triggers. but it's not like a man, like a
It's,
law.
it's unalive is gonna become a trigger too because we use it so much.
But I think her name was Karaya Alexis.
Let me see. Is this Hispanic? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. She looks. I don't know what her nationality is.
Yeah, but I saw that story as well, and I was like, my goodness. So, but like Natalie was saying, it was about the resource piece. It's definitely about the resource. If you're gonna help someone, know your capability of helping them, and if it's a real hands-on domestic abuse, ask yourself, if you're in that situation, could you protect you and your friend? Maybe police need to get called. And sometimes women go back because they have nothing, and that man was their sole provider. Gave them the food, the money, the everything. So they're financially bound by them. They're emotionally bound by them, and all the other things. So sometimes is lining up their resources and saying, this agency will give you money, this agency will give you housing, this agency, and pointing them in that direction so that they feel like they have a foundation not to go back. But if they leave one day and they're sleeping on your couch or whatever the situation, maybe, or they didn't leave that 7 times, like you said, but taking away some of the reasons to go back is also helpful.
Yep. And we know somebody that got assisted the situation to have someone leave or separate, and their car was lit on fire.
Yes. That was very scary. I can imagine being in that situation where you're trying to help and and then they try to kill you and your children, not even just you and your children. That's very scary. It will make you not want to ever give help or counsel again. And for people whose lives have been threatened after getting involved, and you still continue to counsel and give, advice and be involved in people's relationships and marriage, I commend you. That's so brave.
Yeah.
And women out there who are getting abused, try to get some help, some mental help, or I don't know, find somebody who you can confide in. I know it's embarrassing, but being embarrassed than dead is better. There are agencies out there, DAP in Delaware County. I know DAP is a place where they help you move out. They help you with your first, last, and security deposit. And they try to keep everything private and confidential. And they also will help you file PFA, protection from abuse order, which gives you some kind of legal, like if he does come within a certain amount of feet or call you or anything, he can get arrested. Makes it a legal document. Legal filing.
It helps escalate the situation rather quickly when you have that document.
And if you find an urge that you lonely, you find yourself trying to go back to that person because of trauma bonding and connections that you have, try to find someone that you can talk to when you feel that way, because 100% of the time they're not going to stop abusing you. Unfortunately, once they show you their fangs, their true colors, they're going to keep hitting you. They're going to keep abusing you. They can say sorry, they didn't mean it. They're going to do it again. This is just proven. Once they start abusing you, you will continue to get abused.
There's a show on Netflix called Made that really snapped me out of it, because there was a scene where she went back and he didn't physically abuse. He didn't go back to physically abusing her, but he was still being controlling. And there's this scene where she's sitting on the couch and she's sinking into the couch. They kind of, it wasn't actually happening, but in her mind, she felt herself sinking in the couch. And it was as if she was in a hole, and she just couldn't get out. And she realized that there was no end. This was going to be her life. And that kind of helped her get out of it again. And I remember watching that scene, and I couldn't breathe. I had a hard time breathing, and my chest was getting tight. I started crying, and I realized that was me. It was me. And I didn't want to sink in the couch anymore. And to kind of go back to what Natalie was saying about are the authorities a real support, a real help? I remember one time, it's kind of like get off the heavy for a little bit. I was canvassing for a mayoral race, and I'm directionally challenged. Okay, I'll admit that.
You used to be, not anymore.
I'm getting a little better, but
you got much better.
Sometimes things just warp and change in my head, and I'm like, which way is what way? So I parked my car, and this is the incident that made me always take a picture of my surroundings wherever I park. I don't care if I park there a million times. I'm gonna get some kind of landmark. So I didn't take any pictures. I was in the part of Philly that was the first gentrification happened in this area. Dang.
West Philly?
South Philly?
Fishtown?
South Philly. Between South Philly and Fishtown, I think.
Okay.
And knocking on doors, can you vote for so-and-so? Can you vote for so-and-so? This was around the time where those canvassers got shot. Remember?
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah.
So my dad said, please don't do this job, please.
It was the last Philly mayoral race. 2 years ago, when Cheryl Parker was running, and two of them got shot because Zahn was canvassing too in Philly, and he was just saying it's so dangerous.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We were working together.
Yeah.
Wait, they got shot because they were canvassing for the wrong people? People didn't want to be bothered?
Yes.
This was when the political threats really started.
Yes.
Like people following through with political threats. And so they, like you said, like we're talking about, there's an aggression in America that's just festering and boiling and growing into this monster. And every time we see something, outrage, and then everybody goes back to their phones. And something happens, outrage, and then everybody goes back. It's just,
and not only that, like our phones is perpetuating our beliefs. So you go watch one video
because the algorithm.
Right, exactly. So you get right. So now your phone is trying to say, okay, since you watch this video all the way through, you must like this. So it's going to keep feeding you these whatever it is. So if you're watching like political, like one-sided videos, that's going to trigger you to be more angry. So it becomes a reality when in the real world, there's always 2 sides, 3 sides, and the truth or whatever they say, and you're not getting the full story. But you're sitting here watching reel after reel after reel based on one side of a logarithm that is built to whatever you want to believe, control you, take over you, change your beliefs, condition you, all that, and divide us even more as the human race. And then we get off the phone and we start acting irate. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I just wanted to add to that, but
no, go ahead.
No, so y'all talk a lot about technology in the phone, but there's a lot of stuff, that other things that are going on. This entire 5G, we are living when you live in cities, there's so many signals that's going through the air that we cannot see that are hitting us and affecting us. So this entire move to the farm and to build family compounds,
homestead movement.
Homestead movement. It is real, and it's individual kind of understand what's going on with the technology around us. Because think about it. We got a screen in front of us. We got an iPad in front of us. We got a laptop right there. We got our phones in front of us. We got a TV behind us. How much signals do you think is going off in this room and going through our bodies that's affecting us? The other thing, I wrote down a quick list. I'm just going to run through them. Stress due to the cost of living, the rising cost of living. And in Pennsylvania, we still are minimum wage is $7.25. Although.
Is anybody respecting that though? Really?
Some people are,
they're paying $7.25.
Well, that's the minimum wage for the state of Pennsylvania. And best to believe some companies are still taking advantage of it. But other companies, McDonald's, some places are willing to go a little bit higher. But still, policy-wise, the minimum wage in the state of Pennsylvania is still $7.25. So the cost of living constantly going up, but you're not making enough. Your health, what we are eating, the food desert, we're having food that is created in labs now, the meats, the chicken, the beef, the ribs, all that. They're starting to print it in a lab, and it's no longer coming from animals, and it's being sold in stores, and you're eating it.
If it says cultivated or cultured meat, that means that it was lab grown, and they are, as far as I'm aware, certain Walmarts have been approved to sell it. So just check the packaging.
Yes,
cell culture. All you need is one cell, and
exactly. Yeah. So be aware and conscious of that. The other toxins that are in our foods, the hormones, all that, your deficiencies. I recently found out, well, not recently, it was more so last year, but I'm B12, vitamin D, iron, and B12, vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin D, and now I'm taking K. It's like all these deficiencies because the food that I'm eating don't have the amount of nutrients I need because of how it's being grown. So now I have to take supplements. But I'm able to do that and understand that. How many people are going around not understanding that they have the deficiencies, and that affects your brain and how your body functions? Like a black person, well, not black, human beings having a deficiency in vitamin D can lead to depression. How many people know that? Iron affects your hair, your skin, all those things. So now you're looking at health, toxins, deficiencies, 9-to-5 work that makes you feel like a zombie in life, especially when you have kids. You come home, you cook dinner, you're tired. I collapse every single night. I put the kids down, and I know I got to do laundry, and I know I got to clean my kitchen, and then I'll collapse. I'm so tired. I do not spend a lot of time with my husband. And that's the thing. Relationships are being severed and broken. Because when you want to sit down and relate, how often can we hang out? Or I see you guys, because I work nights and weekends sometimes because of my profession.
And you just now getting one job. You used to have two.
Yeah, right. And I used to have 2 jobs just to make ends meet, having 2 kids in daycare. So that relations piece, so we're talking about these women that's getting married, murdered by their husband, things like that. It's depressing. And then on top of that, we get desensitized by social media and the video games and everything, and they're hitting our kids.
Yeah, you know.
All these murders and stuff in the video games. So when you pull out a gun and go bop bop, it's video game to you. It's no longer real life.
Yeah, but you don't have a Sixth Life.
Right, you don't have a Sixth Life. They're not gonna go to
the live spot. They get the med pack.
Let's hurry, we get the med pack.
No, the value of a person life.
Yeah, Call of Duty, Fortnite. You get shot up, your team members have to go and get your med pack.
I did not know that.
So the value of a life is being devalued so fast that people's not realizing once you take a life, they're going for good. They will never laugh, cry, have children, impact the world, nothing. God can never use them. They're done. They are deceased. And people don't realize, you got, they're being desensitized to violence. And the doctor want to dope you up on every single medication. The pharmaceutical, my neighbor just had surgery, and she said she came home and they gave her 10 different types of medication for her to take. Now she's wise, and she said, I'm only taking 2, the 2 that I know of and the 2 I know is going to help me. But the doctor always want to put a pill in your body. And we don't know what these things are doing to us, guys. And that's a short list. If we talk about it some more, there's so many things that's impacting us, that's causing us to do this and pushing us in this direction. It's scary.
So true.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say, long story short, I didn't feel safe when I was canvassing, and I asked for police help. I couldn't find my car. I parked, couldn't find it. Walked for 2 hours. Finally, I was like, started crying. I was like, I'm lost. And so I went to, my phone was dying. And I know my supervisor was going to call me. So I asked a pedestrian. I said, do you know where the closest police station is? And my phone had died, so I couldn't even call 911. They let me know it was 2 blocks. I was going in the right direction. And I got there. And the sister made me feel like I was some kind of junkie just looking for the next hit.
Who, the cop?
It was a woman inside behind the window, and she was dressed in business clothes, and I don't know if she was a former police officer, I don't know, but she was there. I explained my situation, and she was like, well, I don't know what to tell you. We don't have any any officers here. And I said, well, can you call someone? Like, how can you help me? And my phone is dying. Do you have a charger by any chance? And she's like, no, I don't. And just straight up attitude. Well, you're going to have to sit over there, and I'm going to see if I can find somebody. And I'm looking at her. I was like,
wow.
I was like, do I look? I was clean. I was canvassing. I don't understand where the prejudice was coming from. I looked just like her when she, you know. I was so broken in that moment that I went to the one place that I know was supposed to be a place to help me.
A police officer?
It was a police station. This woman she worked as a front desk. I don't know what her position was, but she was there. And it was this other black officer that was kind of coming in and out. Yeah, coming in and out of the where we were sitting. And she turned around and said, "Do you got a charger for her?" And he said, "Yeah, I do." He gave her the charger. And he said, she said, "I don't understand why your phone wasn't charged. And what was you going to do if nobody was here?" And I said, "I know precincts, like police stations are open 24/7, right?
Yeah.
There's always, right? So I was like, what would have been your plan B? I was like, this is every citizen's plan B right here.
Is it?
I mean,
it
should be.
Ideally,
even when we're defunding the police?
Ideally, that should be the case. That's their
I'm
purpose.
sorry, because, okay, you said about 2 years ago. So if we go back 2 years ago, I'm sorry. Okay, listen, we have got to get back on topic.
Defund the police. Yes, we do, but
I'm
you're
saying,
taking
but
defund the police out of topic.
Okay.
So please,
Let me finish.
This
Real quick.
defund the police is not what people think it is.
The point is the situation in that moment, right? So
Okay.
So
Okay.
I didn't feel supported.
I'm sorry. Think about 2 years ago what Philly was going through. Think about it. With the riots and the defund the police, all of that. We're going to send psych workers. Like, so can you imagine a police officer, or you're a pig, you're this, you're that, and somebody come and ask you, don't ask me for help. You don't even want me to have my job.
You can't slap that on everybody.
You cannot. That
You
was
can't
just
take the heat. Get out the kitchen.
Just do your job. Just do your job. And
yes.
If you're
But anyway,
open,
you have a job.
your
You're a
job.
police officer. You're wearing a badge. You're working in the police station. Your
she
job is
wasn't
to
wearing
help,
a badge.
Period.
Yeah.
it was just rough for the Philly cops a couple years ago. It was rough.
No. I think that police officers and all of the lot, that community, not all of them, but some of them, and I think it's changing. I think that they are automatically on guard and have to be on defense sometimes, that they are set on aggression because they need to get to the point, get answers, do their job right away, right? And so I think they're on autopilot, and that's the kind of energy she was giving off. And I'm like, you're forgetting that you're also here to serve. You're here to serve. Yeah. And I'm asking you for help. It was a little bit of a humiliating situation, but it happened. All right.
I'm sorry
so,
that happened to you.
It wasn't until finally she got a crew, what do they call them when the police officers go around? Patrol, yeah. Came. Just the most gentle white male that came and was like, "Do you need my help?" I said, "Yes." "What's wrong?" I said, I said, "I don't know where I parked." He said, "Come on, get in the car. You can't sit in the front.
Police officer.
You got to sit in the back." But yeah. And
wow,
he drove around and he wouldn't stop driving around until we found my car. And here I am sticking my hand out the window. Everybody's looking, pressing the lock button to my fob, just hoping to hear boop, 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 boop. We drove around, boop, boop.
I had to do that the other night.
So I finally found my car. But the point is, I didn't feel safe reaching out to authority. I didn't feel in that moment protected. So like, that's and to tie it into way back what Christina said with these women that were out in public being harmed, and people just, I wanted to share a story.
Yes, please do. And real quick, it has been internet sleuths, TikTokers, vloggers that's been solving a lot of these cases and putting the pieces together. Not to take any credit away from law enforcement and the hard work that they do. We support our men in blue. Okay. They are overworked, underpaid, but it has been the internet solving these crimes. So take it away, Dominique.
So there is a story of this woman called Allison Botha. And right now, if you have children or someone that's triggered through like very vivid, like very harsh description of death, this is a warning. But there was an incident of a woman. Her name was Allison Botha. You okay if I share this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. She's a
Why
South.
would I be triggered?
Because I read it to you a while ago and you're like, yeah.
No, you're right. You're right.
Allison Botha was a South African woman who famously survived a horrific attack in Port Elizabeth on December 18th, 1994. She was age 27 and she was abducted at knife point. And I read a more detailed account, and she was coming from her car, getting laundry out of her vehicle. And as she's getting out, as she was grabbing her basket, someone just got in her car and told her to drive. So she was held at knife point outside her home by, this says 2 men here, but it was 1 at the time. And he drove her to a remote area where then once they arrived, the other gentleman was there, and they both proceeded to rape her. So after they raped her, they stabbed her over 30 times in the abdomen and slashed her throat 16 or 17 times. And as she's coming in and out of it, she just could see what was happening to her. And another report, like story that I read, she said she could see herself watching. She was outside of her body, watching herself die. And she said, oh my gosh, I got to save this. I got to save that girl. I got to save her. And realizing, I guess in that moment, didn't realize it was her. But as she's saying, I got to save this girl, she comes back into her body. And I think she comes to herself. And this is like totally miraculous. But the attack was so severe that she was nearly decapitated, and her abdominal wounds caused her intestines to start to spill out. But as she's laying there left for dead, she regained consciousness and realized she had to move to survive. And this is the point that I'm trying to make. She managed to crawl to a nearby road as her head is like hanging between her shoulder blades. She's trying to hold her head and hold her abdomen. She gets to the road as she's physically holding her head onto her shoulders with one hand and holding her intestines with the other. And also trying to use her shirt to hold it all together.
Oh my God.
She laid on the road and moved as much as she could of herself to get attention. People drove by. People stopped. People parked. People yelled. People screamed. Women screamed. Nobody helped her until she was found by T.N. Illard, a veterinary student who used his medical knowledge to help stabilize her until emergency services arrived. Doctors later stated that he had never seen anyone survive such catastrophic injuries. Despite the severity of her wounds, she made a full recovery, guys. So out of all the bad news tonight, she survived. She eventually became a mother of 2 despite her attack. Her attackers, known as the Nordic Reapers, were caught and sentenced to life in prison. Although they were briefly granted parole in 2023, public outcry led to the decision being revoked, and they were returned to prison. So no parole for them. Allison became a world-renowned motivational speaker and wrote an autobiography titled I Have Life. Her story was also the subject of 2016 documentary called Allison. But what they didn't say, in another part I read, that they were, she could hear them talking about sacrificing her for a religion that they were part of. So they thought they were doing something necessary. And mind you, when they killed her, or tried to, they were on bail from another rape that they committed. Wow. So they were out and about trying to get finished what they tried to do the first time to this other person. But the one guy who got in the car and drove her, he started the situation with the other woman, but he said he didn't feel the calling to kill her, to take her life. She wasn't the one that he had to take her life. So when they went on the bell, Allison apparently was the one that they had to take life from. But she's an advocate right now. And you could read up on her story. Like, it was very powerful, but enough people passed her by that she might not have been here today. So like Natalie was saying, it is a risk helping. It really is. But ask yourself right now, if it were you, what would you do? Are you going to stand by? Are you going to be on video? Are you going to just and not do anything? Or are you going to take action, even in the smallest way? So that man's experience with his schooling and decision to help her saved her life.
This is why I pick up people on the side of the road, because you never know.
Rosie,
Yeah. So
your situations are extreme.
But
but you do have such a big heart. I have to commend you for that.
Because you never know. And I've never been attacked by all of the people that I've picked up on the side of the road. Never.
Because you have an angel.
Yeah.
there
Definitely
Continue
has an
to allow
angel.
that spirit to guide you on every
Yes.
pickup. Pray before the pickup and let God make be there with you during those times.
I think those people
It's been
like
the people that I know and trust that have
hurt you the most.
attacked me.
Yeah. And actually, that you said that most abusers are people who are close to you and that you know, unfortunately. They have the access to you on a regular basis.
But also, that's the other thing. It's the I know you say you pick people up on the road, but to Dominique's case and many of the train situation is the in the moment acts of violence. Is in the moment the person is in need and people are stopping and watching and not reacting and not helping. So it was one thing to see somebody on the side of the road, but when you see somebody actively being hurt, that's like that's the call to action. Is like, what are you willing to do? I remember there was a girl being jumped near Chester High years ago, and I remember stopping my car, getting out, and I was like, I don't know who that girl is, but I'm pulling everybody on her, and it's gonna be me and her back to back against the world, because nobody deserves to get jumped. But by the time I pulled over and got out the car, everybody was this person.
Yeah, they saw you coming. 'Cause I don't know, we don't want that.
I saw that the other day. I was driving, I was turning off Highland Avenue in a little gas station right there. It was like 3 or 4 women jumping this one woman. I said, what? I went and turned around. And I don't know if I was going to get into it, but I was going to like try and, but then by the time I turned around, I realized that the woman they were jumping was a junkie that stole the other girl's purse. So then I was like, oh, you might deserve that. I was like, oh, well, good thing I didn't get into it, because you stole her purse and that. So,
But
Even still, though, try to remediate the situation. No, I don't think nobody deserves to get jumped, because, oh my goodness, remind me of a story from my old best friend. Her neighbor husband went to a bar and got into an altercation. One hit, that guy fell, hit his head on the side of the curb. Something like he fractured neck or something, and then ended up being like immobile from the neck down. All that being saying is, I don't think anybody should get jumped. Nobody should be in that position, regardless of what you did, because one wrong hit, because all body parts are flinging, can cost somebody their lives. There's other ways to remediate a situation other than violence.
Absolutely. Can we talk a little bit about the time is running away from us, guys? We didn't get a chance to talk about Nancy Mateo Bowen, the vice mayor from Florida. Do you guys want to dive into her real quick? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so fresh. I think it happened this
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. A lot happened 2
But
weeks ago
but
when,
do we know the motive?
talking about it. So they don't have a motive from him yet. They don't have a testimony or any kind of confession. He does have a lawyer, but the family is saying something. His side of the family is saying something. Unfortunately, she's not here to explain her side of the story, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So real quick, Nancy Mateer Bowen, she's the vice mayor of Coral Springs.
In Florida.
In South Florida. She was a politician. She was an environmentalist. She was beautiful. She was Haitian. She cared about her community. So many people showed up to her memorial, and they had so many great things to say about her. Unfortunately, she was shot 3 times. He had
a pillow.
He had put a pillowcase over the gun, and then he shot her 3 times. After shooting her, he went downstairs and went to sleep. She had several meetings the next day that she didn't show up for, working in City Hall. Yeah. And
They did a wall visit.
They did the Friends Act. This is not like her. She would never miss these meetings. And she was thinking about, not thinking about, she was going to announce her run for Congress. Is this the time for that? Like early spring, right? Mm-hmm. And she didn't make the meeting. She went to A&M University. She was a graduate from Johns Hopkins. And she just recently got married, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. On social media, the relationship seemed like everything was perfect. It didn't seem like there were problems. Her mother, and we know our moms, they try to warn us. We don't want to listen. Her mother was warning her. She had her concerns, but they got married anyway. So unfortunately, she's not here to explain her side of the story. But what his side of the family, it's rumored. It's so fresh, it's so new. So please do your own research. But they're saying that they had made promises to each other to start having children. She was 38, turning 39 this year, and you know that it gets more difficult. It gets more difficult to get pregnant in that age, and she was not holding on to her end of the deal. And I hate to even say this because she's not here to defend herself. He can make up any story that he wanted to. Whatever the deal was, you could have just divorced and found someone else who's maybe not so much into their career, into politics. You did not have to take somebody's life. I feel as if there was a little bit of jealousy there. They're saying that he was on heavy medication. Thank you.
What kind of medication?
Yes,
like
mental?
like
Yeah, he was
mental?
on meds because, and I don't want to say it, but that she was talking to an old ex, and her WhatsApp messages were showing up on the laptop. It was signed in one place and showing somewhere else, and he popped up at her workplace, and her husband was not too happy to see this ex resurface. Yes. Again, this is what his side of the family is saying. It's not, there's no merit behind it. There's no proof. There's nothing. There hasn't been any official statement made by him. So we don't really know the motives, but that's what the rumor is. And with politics, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe in coincidences. They're saying that her campaign was being funded by some Nation of Israel groups, and
the Jewish.
Yes.
Okay.
And so
was she Democratic?
She was definitely Democratic. Okay. Democrat. She was very much for the environment. She was very much for helping people who, don't have the resources, linking people to resources. She even went back to Haiti, and you guys know the situation and the state that Haiti is in, but she went back there frequently to help people. So she was definitely a mover, a shaker. She had big dreams, and that was taken away from her. It was robbed from her, and she's not even here to tell her side of the story. But there are usually signs, and our moms can see them.
Our moms and dads.
Yeah, our moms and our dads, they can see them, and sometimes you just need to slow down, take a beat, and just look into what they're saying. So that's what happened. He may be trying to claim sanity or insanity, or he was just like, because he had said to his uncle, I just couldn't take it anymore, because he gave somebody the gun. He was trying to get rid of evidence. I don't think, because I listen to true crime.
Was the one who turned him in, his uncle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when it's your family member that's hurting somebody, right? Don't think like, oh, that's my family, that's my blood, I'm taking their side. There's no sides in this. There's no sides in abuse. Right is right, right is wrong. Sometimes you do have to make that phone call and turn your son in, or your daughter. But right now, these cases are about women. Turn your son in. Do not help them hide evidence or hide the body. That's not what blood means. When we blood, we're fast. That's not what it means. That's not what it means. So I don't think he's gonna be able to claim sanity, because
of the pillow. He took the pillow.
So there's
to silence the gun.
Exactly.
So you knew,
so that nobody would hear.
Yeah, I mean, definitely premeditated.
When we say premeditated days in advance or in that moment.
Well, he knew he had enough sanity
in
to grab the pillow
the moment he killed her,
to make sure the gun doesn't make that pop sound. Like you.
Very true.
Right. Was it a crime of passion? Perhaps.
Yeah, and the time that he knew about whatever friend was popping up, that's weeks or months ago. So it was building up. They said that he went to have a conversation with her, and we don't know how that conversation went. However, that next morning, and then you go to sleep in the house, he wraps her body in a blanket and puts it in a bag. You're preparing the body for transport. You give the weapon to a family member. Oh, a little bit about him. I'm not going to mention his name, because you have those sickos out there that idolize these murderers that kill women, that attack women. I'm not going to say his name. Her name is Nancy Mateer. Used to be Bowen. Her family went and already removed his last name from her name. And good job, Mateer family. But listen, I don't understand why people just hold on to their names. I didn't get it before, but I understand. So there was a text message from her phone that next morning to coworkers. So
he texted.
We don't know yet. Allegedly, there's some messages sent from her phone. She was already dead. As we're gonna see, as more information comes out in the weeks coming. So they're texting, hey, have you seen her? He's like, yeah, I texted her. Yeah, I texted her, and you texted from her phone. So you just want to buy yourself some time so that you can get rid of the body and act like, oh, you don't know this and that. Yeah. And the friends, they called right away. The police came over right away. And I'm not sure if they had to get a warrant to enter into the home, but they saw that there was damage to the outside of the house, like bullet. And then that was enough for them to enter into the home. So that is a little bit about Nancy Mateer, and what happened to her. And sometimes everything is not what it seems. The videos, the cute pictures, the matching pajamas, there are red flags. And I'm going to talk a little bit about red flags, real quick. Some of the things that you just have to pay attention to.
Can I just make a comment real quick?
Yeah, go ahead while I get this list ready.
I know women are dying all over this world, but for some reason, Haitian women make men go crazy. I'm just saying. Haitian women make men go, it's like, if I can't have you, nobody else will. Like, I'm sorry. I've just seen it a lot, and it's like the obsession. Even, remember that ex that just popped up in my box?
Yeah.
Like, earlier this year or in the last year, whenever it was, and I was like...
We talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, where are you coming from? Like, I just listen. The
there was
obsession
that
is crazy.
And he didn't post her on his social media.
Really?
He was also on his social media. You can see that he posts a man that loves God. He's armed and something else. And he wasn't just a nobody. He, was active in the community. He was a part of a Freemason group. He had a part of a brotherhood. And so they talk about faithful life, but he never posted her. That, to me, that's one of the red flags. But she posted pictures of them. It could be because that makes you look like a better politician, but I feel like it was real love. Like she was just like showing off
There was
my relationship.
that TV. So going back to the original topic of, not going back, we're still on the topic of femicide, but as it pertains to Haitian women, I think like maybe in 2010, there's this TV personality in Haiti. She was loved by the entire country, like always on TV, this show, that contest. And on her way back from Leogane, her husband, I think, choked her to death in the car. And his sentence was 10 years and community service. And it was like a outcry. It was like an anger. And it was this particular incident that started this women's right group in Haiti, because Haiti, the government of Haiti, doesn't recognize the reality of femicide. Like, it doesn't exist to them, supposedly. So, and it was so much outcry that he only served 10 years for this woman's death. And she was well known, it's like it's a whole story behind it, but it started creating like advocates to create laws to protect women in Haiti.
And we need better laws in the U.S. to protect women.
Yeah.
Who repeatedly to cry out for help in our system fail them or make them seem crazy.
Right.
Or blame them. Well, why would he come over if we were not talking to him? Because he's a psychopath. I don't want to sound like a feminist but these male cops be backing up these male abusers. They just, I feel like.
Can you share an instance? Like what is fueling this belief? We need a little substance with this statement.
Okay. It's not my story, so I feel more like I shouldn't talk about it. But is in this situation, I have a friend who repeatedly tried to get their help. And they made her feel like she was crazy. Oh, that she's part of the problem. That she's the one who's
Calling him over.
Yeah, okay. You're the one who called him over. Oh, how do we know? Even with the PFA and the men could be there, and they're still like, well, all right, they just take the guy away from her property and let him free. It's just like, and he comes right back, and it's kind of like, so okay, I'm gonna tell you why I said that. I'm gonna make it personal. I call the cops for this person, and it was like, oh, that person, yeah, we know. Like, I was just like, no big deal. What? Yeah, like no big deal. Oh, yeah, they call the cops all the time. I'm like, no rush, no hurry. Oh yeah, them. I was just like, wow, okay. Yeah. I was just shocked. I was really shocked. I
Okay.
was really shocked.
Yeah.
It had to escalate to outside the county before it got taken serious. Yeah, she had to get higher authorities involved to investigate the situation before it was taken to the next level and people took her seriously. Yeah.
I had one cop, Aston police officer, that stayed in the parking lot to make sure, because he had a feeling that there was a domestic violence situation going on. And at that time, being under 26, I think I was like 20, 21, you know, your frontal cortex is not fully developed. So I was definitely the abuser in this situation. I know we're talking about femicide tonight. But they knew something was going on, and he stayed in the shopping center for like an hour just to make sure that I was safe and I was okay.
Well, I'm not saying all of them. There's some people who, but that I think that situation was his personal choice.
Yeah.
But as far as
and I think he was friends. Was he buddies with them?
With who?
That abuser.
You said you were the abuser.
Huh?
You said that. So you were not the abuser. You were the victim.
I was the abuser in the situation.
Okay, so
I was
that's
like,
okay, yeah. So listen, in my early 20s, 21, I was more
Okay.
hot-headed and all of that, right? So again, if anybody's watching this video, my apologies. So it can be both ways, but they document all of this. So then when the tables turn and you're the one that's being, for example, let me not even go there.
Defending yourself?
No, being thrown through a window, then it's just like, what did you do this time? You know? So just be careful. If you ever put your hands on somebody one time, then it's just like any other instance after that. It just kind of looks like you're the troublemaker. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a lot.
It is. It is.
This was a lot.
The what Rosie just said, a lot of abusers, they manipulate the system, and it'll be me and my husband, we watch a lot of that court, like that live court, because of COVID. A lot of the court hearings were recorded and publicized and all that stuff. And there was this situation where there was this one guy, the woman actually lost her baby, and I thought the court system wasn't fair. But the father of the child had recorded every time she reacted to his abuse.
Yeah.
So he would abuse her, antagonize her, and then record her reaction, so that he had evidence and proof saying that he was the victim. And she said, I was in the hospital on this day. I was doing this day. She was like, here's all the evidence. What, did I do it to myself? But although there were medical documents, there was like the video piece. There was no video. There was no pictures. There was nothing. Just medical records of her being in the hospital for situations. And so that to say, just be vigilant and be wise and try to get yourself out of the situations
Document.
sooner rather than later. Document,
Put
take
cameras.
videos, take
Put
pictures,
cameras.
and things like that. And if you are in a really dangerous situation and you think your life is in danger, Dominique did the worldwide hand symbol, is when you put your hands up and then you put your thumb in and then you close your finger. And that is to signal people around you that you are in a very abusive situation and you are seeking help, but you can't verbally say anything because your abuser is either next to you or around. So, with that being said, just take that into account. If you see somebody doing that, understand why they're doing that, and then try to assist. If it's a stranger, call the police, do something, because they're trying to warn everyone, hey, I am in immediate danger. I need help. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also, a lot of times, the abuser grooms the abusee, if that's a word, grooms a woman, they start off by finding out like everything she likes. What are you looking for in a man, and try to be that man,
Or love bomb you.
right? They start with
Just
that,
about to say that.
and then they become obsessively obsessed about you. So think you might, oh, that's so cute, but like popping up, like, you know, popping up once in a while with flowers or something like that is okay. But then it's like, it's a little creepy, stalkish. Like you're in the market and they just pop up. Yeah, what you doing?
I was in the neighborhood every day this week. Every day this week, you was in the neighborhood. It starts to be cute a little initially, and then it become obsessive and controlling. So they start with that. You start giving a little bit of your power, little by little, until he has all of the power and control.
And then the abuse start. And the most men tend to abuse the most women when they're most vulnerable. So after a breakup, for some reason, they have a signal for that. Vulnerable women. After a breakup, after a divorce, while you're pregnant, sadly, but women who are pregnant tend to be abused more than when they're not pregnant, because they're more vulnerable and they, you know, you can't move as much or whatever. So, yeah, be vigilant. Pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to the red flags. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. And then the controlling. Oh, let me see your phone. Who you talking to? You need to be home by a certain time. Or I want you to talk to this person. And then isolation begins. So it's the obsession, then the control, then the isolation. Then they isolate you, move you away from your family, make everyone look like the victim. Everybody don't like you. Everybody's jealous of us, or they don't know what we have. They isolate you by yourself. So when the abuse start, you have nobody to run to because you done cut everybody off.
You just said my list for me. So there you go.
So be very, very, like, women, be aware of the grooming process. In my book, one hit is enough. I've been in 3 long-term relationships in my entire life. I don't know. When I get in a relationship, I'm in there to make it work. So my 3rd relationship with my husband now. But the previous relationships that I have, my first boyfriend, we broke up. And you know what I don't understand? Like, you do all your laundry list of shit. That you do all your laundry list of things that are unacceptable. And I forgive you, and we get back together. Actually, I never broke up. I forgive you, and we move on. And then you continue. So when I say, all right, you know what? Enough is enough. And then you actually, like, you don't understand what's going on. You know? So my first relationship, we broke up, and now he's acting all obsessive. He's sending flowers to my job. And I'm like, at this point, at 4 years in, at this point, it's too late. I don't give a damn about your flowers. I don't care about your phone calls. I don't care about nothing. I'm done. So he sent flowers to my job. I gave it out. It was flowers in a fruit bouquet. I gave the fruit bouquet to people at my job, and I threw the damn flowers in the trash. It's too late. Them flowers should have been came. And then you called me. Did you get my flowers? And you didn't even say thank you. We're not together anymore. I don't want your flowers. I don't want anything from you. Fine. He finds some way to get in contact with family members, flaunting an engagement ring, whatever the case may be. He didn't like my response. He shows up to my job at my place of work. Luckily, I worked with a bunch of women at the time, older women. He comes in, yells at me, and slaps me at work. And this is the first time he ever hit me. And I'm like, so you think this is how you're going to get me back? I was just like, oh. So of course, did I hit him back? I don't know. I black out a lot when things like this happen. So
How often this happen? That's the question.
So when I get into altercations with people.
Okay, all right.
So he slaps me, and I think I screamed, and I might have hit him back. And then my coworker came over to me and asked me, "Are you okay? The security guard came, escorting him out, and she advised me that the best next action was to get a protection from abuse order in case he comes back to the job or near me again. There's some kind of legal documentation that he shouldn't be around me and to protect me. So I went ahead and I did that. And he was like, I never thought you would break up with me. I don't know why you breaking up with me. And I'm looking at him like, you know? Okay. So we was in the same relationship. Like the cheating, the lying, the everything. So that's relationship 1. Relationship 2, longtime friend, long history of stuff. And did David ever? I don't think he ever put his hands on me. But we got into a lot of fights. We got into 2 fights, actually.
Yeah, they'll damage things around.
Yeah. He was damaging my car. We got into an argument. In his situation, at the time, I feel very sorry for him because he was a longtime friend. I knew him since 9th grade. And he went into the service. And I don't know what he experienced in the service, but he developed he became alcoholic, and it was bad. And so I kind of tried to help him out, but then the children, I ended up having children. Then my priority shifted. So I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you're a grown man. I have kids now. They are my number 1 priorities. There's no, I am their sole provider. So you need to figure this out. But I felt like he'll do good and then he'll relapse. Do good. Like people who go through substance abuse, they go through a lot. And they go through, and I have nothing against them or anything. They really need help. If you do have, suffer or have trouble with substance abuse, please get help. But anyway, he would destroy things around me. One time we did get to an altercation. I didn't really get hurt, but anyway, he started doing death threats on social media and stuff like that. So I had to get a protection from abuse from him. So these things are things that happen more often than we realize. And luckily for me, I have a strong support system. I have my sisters, I had my mom, my dad. I was able to pull myself out of the situation. So my advice is, if you are in a relationship where it's getting abusive, find the people around you that care about you, that you can lean on and support. So when I went to court for my first PFA, my coworker, who was an older Black woman, went with me to support me while I went through the whole process and made sure, if I needed anything, she was right there. She gave me, she went with me. She met me at the courthouse, made sure, I knew everything to do. I was young. I was like 21, 22, and I had the support. Find somebody that can hold you accountable, that you can lean on, and that's trustworthy to help you get out of the situation. So in both situations, I was able to get out of them alive and unhurt. So that's my piece.
And you guys can reach out to us. You can DM us, send us a message privately. If you're going, we have been through so much, unfortunately, between the 4 of us. And even if you don't really know us like that, or, it might feel like this is too personal, nothing is too personal. Please just reach out to us or find your circle of people. We might not respond right away, but we will definitely get back to you and help you out. And also do not announce your departure. Like, for example, Serena Fairfax, who was the dentist in Virginia, we didn't get to dive into her story that much, but they were going through a separation. I think majority of the women on our list, it was a breakup or a separation or a divorce happening. And, while you're going to court and figuring all of that out, it's just best not to be living together. Serena Fairfax, they were living together. He had 2 more weeks to, vacate the premises and all of that. And instead of vacating and leaving or feel like he's losing everything that he owns, he just murdered her or unalived her and himself with their 2 children, 2 teenage children at home.
Wait, he killed the children too?
No, They were there in the house. So So yeah, don't announce it. Come up with your strategy. If you feel like your phone
Exit
is
strategy.
if you feel like your phone is being mirrored or monitored, don't use that same phone or laptop to look up the a local shelter or something. Use friends. Go to the library. Do not.
Make sure you check your car for tracker. If you're trying to remove yourself from the situation and you feel like he always know where you are, remove your track. Get a different vehicle, borrow a friend's car, rent a car, or find a tracker that's on your phone. On your vehicle.
Yes. Trackers. I'm losing my train of thought. Whoo. Losing my train of thought.
I had a piece while you
Yeah,
about your
please.
thought. The piece was this. I wouldn't say I've been in a domestic violent relationship. I had situations happen to me, but it wasn't. They weren't my significant others. So, but with that caveat, I think as a woman, I have a very hard line. I'm a very physical person. I grew up fighting a lot. Didn't care who you were. I didn't speak English. I don't think I spoke English very well, and I didn't like speaking. So instead of using words, I'm going to use my hands. So growing up, I realized at 18 that I could go to jail. Now, mind you, I wasn't out here just being a bully, beating up people. It was more so like justice reasons. I saw a bully picking on a smaller, weaker one, and I say, oh, you that kid? All right, I'm going to show you somebody that's a bigger bully than you. And I'm going to make sure you, the bully, feel what that small person feel. Now, let's go. So that's the type of person, my personality. I was always like going after justice, seeking justice, or if just injustice was being done to me, I would use my hands. But I will tell you, as a grown woman, as somebody that transitioned from being a child to an adult, I do not put my hands on anyone unless it is life-threatening. And I know as women, it's like, well, I'm weaker and I'm smaller. I do not believe in women hitting men, hitting their partners, unless it's truly self-defense. You're being attacked. It is a self-defense position. I do not feel like we should ever put our hands on man. I don't do it. I don't think it should be done. Men are built different. I know there are women out there, they be like, well, I'm strong. I'm stronger than that guy. Genetically, we are built different. They have broader shoulders. They have more muscle. Our strongest woman today go against a stronger man of today. You will see a difference. There are women that are strong. But just because you're stronger than this guy doesn't mean you're stronger than every guy. We are just built different. So I believe you want to avoid domestic violence. No slapping, no scratching, no biting, no. Keep your hands to yourself. Is it an excuse for your man to beat you or hit you or whatever? No, it's not. Everybody should take responsibility of themselves. But for the women that think they could get handsy and there are no consequences, you are sadly mistaken. So I think as women, we just have to like think about that and keep that's my line. I do not hit my husband for fun or anything. I do not hit. Hitting is not a toy. Maybe if you're in karate, you do jinjitsu. Shout out to Dominique.
So I have a question for you.
You do not hit.
Let's say
I'm very new, beginner.
You get handsy or whatever, and you like shove your man. Do you think it's okay for him to hit you back?
Okay, you talking about sexually?
We always. Where did you
make a full circle.
You shove your man.
Back to this.
You know what she did?
We almost said good guy.
Shoved your
almost
man.
got- almost
I mean, if
made
I
it.
shove him and I know
almost
something's
made
about to
it.
happen, he could definitely smack my butt.
We're talking about abuse
okay with
here.
that.
We're talking about abuse.
Almost made
Okay.
it, guys.
I know we almost made it to the whole episode without a sexual.
It was her. She
No,
said,
no.
if you
You
shove
knew
your
it
man.
would have.
She said, if you shove your man. When she did that, I was like, oh, like, what you mean by
No,
shove?
if you let's say you got into an argument,
what do you mean?
And you like you went you shoved them or you kind of got handsy, like you said handsy with him. Do you think it's okay for him to hit you back?
Absolutely not. And I will always say self-defense.
What do you mean hit him back? If
Push,
you didn't hit
push.
You shoved, you got handsy with him.
energy, I think that people can match each other's energies.
But it takes
Unfortunately.
self-control, though, for you not to match that energy and be the mature person in the room.
Right.
But I will say
Right.
that if
I
your
agree.
partner, I am big on self-defense, though. I won't start it, but I'll damn near finish it. But if that person is blocking your path and you need to exit that room, exit that space, is getting hostile, and you know you're at your point where you need to walk away. I know me and my husband, it's been heated, and he might be standing or no, I want to finish having this conversation. I'm like, no, I want to leave. I will say, excuse me, and I will move past him. Now maybe we might brush.
You ever move them from your past?
No, I can't. That man heavy.
The
Hell
way you
no.
made it seem like I would remove him from my path.
No, no, but I think like you said, like a excuse me, where my hand might be on your arm, your side, your shoulder, softly. I'm not hitting you, and it's gonna be very clear that I'm not trying to hit you, hurt you in any way. It is, I'm moving from you. I'm leaving the situation, and it's a sense of self-defense. But a straight out slap, punch to the face, all that, we think as women we could get away with it. No.
So let's say you did slap your man. Do you think it's okay for him to slap you back?
I don't think no. Okay. You shouldn't slap him. He should not slap you.
Why you keep asking this?
No
You're
hitting.
persisting
Well,
on
because
that.
she's not answering the question. That's why.
I said no.
No, I said
the
if
reason-
you did, not neither. Let's say someone did cross that line. What's the response?
You do no. He should not hit you.
Okay, let's say you
The
got
only
hit.
reason why I said
You
that
got
because
hit.
she went on a side note saying that women should never hit their men. So I was just trying to, see where she is when it came to abuse. Like, is if a woman hits her man, is it okay for him to hit her back? That's why I was just trying to see where her stance was with that.
So let's say somebody.
I think
let's say he does hit
I don't
you.
think a man should ever. If a woman
Ever.
slaps or punch or whatever a man,
Walk away.
what if she coming? No, I think he shouldn't hit her back, but he can restrain her. Like hold her
Unless you
hand.
can walk away, though. If you can
walk away, walk
that
away.
is- but-
Run. No, don't
Yeah.
forget walk away, run, because when the cops get called,
That's
what
what Jonathan Majors did, and he still lost his career.
he walked away.
He restrained her and then ran, and she ran after him. I'm not talking about 5 minutes blocks, and he still lost his career.
Well,
Because
is his career done? Okay.
damn.
He's not.
I think the only reason
You know what? I have an idea. I think
self-defense. If the woman has a knife, a gun, your life is in immediate danger. You cannot get away. It's called self-preservation. I'm sorry. And I know that's really hard because of the topic tonight, and women has died.
who's self-preservation for the man to do what?
Preserve his life. Because if the woman has a gun, right, or a knife, and she is now the abuser, because there are abusive women out there.
Yeah,
We're
that's
just
true.
not covering that tonight.
Right,
We'll
right.
cover it another time. Does the man have a right to preserve his life in that situation?
Oh, okay. He did. Okay.
So,
He still lost his Marvel contract,
Yes.
according to Cuz.
So let's take a second to
It's
say
on the
hello
video.
to all of our
Yeah.
wonderful guests.
I
Natalie.
see- Oh, okay. I see our cousin Naomi is coming from North Carolina is in the chat. What's up, boo? Derek.
oh, Derek! So,
Do I know Derek? Do I
no,
know Derek?
he's a friend of mine. He does security at the Bellwether District.
Oh,
So
hey,
thank you for
big
joining.
homie. Yes, and Alexis.
Said,
Alexi.
Alexi.
Alexi Piggin.
hello. Wait.
Stock
When
Posse.
We have our Haitian Connect. Wait.
I know
Ain't you
Alexi.
covering domestic abuse? Exactly.
Exactly, Naomi.
Come on.
Well, it was specifically for women.
I don't know where she was going. I was just trying to bring her back.
No, yeah, it was domestic. It was.
You was telling
It
what
is
women
still.
shouldn't do.
No, right. No, but that goes into domestic abuse.
It does.
I will
Say
because if
this.
you are a woman that's going around swinging and slapping men, what do you think energy is going to come back to you? That's what I mean. So it all plays into domestic abuse. You thinking a woman and you all, I'm tough, and you walk up to a dude or your man and you just swinging on them. I'm not playing the blame game. It's just let's make sure we're in position. Like, let's make sure we're protecting
the correct
ourselves.
way to conduct yourself.
Right. Protect yourself, protect him. protect the environment.
I personally,
What are you telling your son
about what?
if a girl's hitting him at school?
You make sure you never lay eyeballs on this woman again. Never see the whites of her eyes again. Period. Walk away.
Oh,
And
okay.
never
Oh, okay.
put yourself in a situation where you have to see the whites of her eyes again.
First of all, if I'm gonna tell my son scream,
that
act irate, because that's what this, because you would never. It's very hard for you being a right. So act as belligerent as possible.
Yeah.
Because
And come home and tell your mama, because your mama
and let
handled it.
everybody know. Because okay, this is kind of like it's flipping, because we're saying women don't get the support from the system and all this other stuff. But on the flip side of the coin, and this was my other idea, was having the guys come on and do their side, because I know a lot of guys get set up too. But even though this is not about the men tonight,
Yeah,
it's about
what?
these
You're
women
right. I'm sorry, I asked that.
who got
Let's just
killed.
Stay on topic.
Unfortunately, got unalive way too soon because either of jealousy, and a lot of the cases are so fresh, we don't know what happened. Like,
And the rise of the red pill community, I feel like, is a factor.
the red pill versus
Yeah.
blue pill. So it would
Yeah.
be nice
Those
to
hate groups, those online hate groups, I feel like they should be on the watch list. Yeah.
I will say
because
this.
it's encouraging it. Like, yeah, you online, you just type in, oh yeah, I would do this to her, or I'll do that. I'm always getting rejected by women, and they're becoming these, like, this women hating group or club or whatever. Like, I feel like if your partner is in one of those groups and they hardcore and they following her, just slowly start distancing yourself. It's not worth it, because what's going to end up happening? Yeah, they're going to take it out on you.
In India, they were throwing acid in women's faces if they said no.
say no to
Their even
Advance.
polite. They saying no to their advances. They would somehow just get acid and
You will find your person. Don't. Back in the day when you got rejected,
Yeah, but
they're gonna wait for the next girl to
there-
pass by.
So-
Like, whatever happened to that?
No, so there is something going on with the men. Me and Jamar was talking about it, and it's that there is 10% of men is the one that's really getting women and really getting cheeks. And
10% of men.
Here we go with that mess.
So hold on, hear me out. There's not so women go after certain type of men, and it's like the majority going after the same kind of men that have access to the different type of women, but the women is going after
I
specific type of
strongly
men, and there's a lot of men
disagree
that's out of
with
the
his stupid comment. He make it seem like, oh my God, I am the lowly 10, lowly 9%.
said that?
Yeah, you're gonna attract the gold digging chasing women who are just
Wait, to be
going-
provided for makes you a gold digger?
No, that's what I'm saying. But there's women who will only date if you have X, Y, and Z. If you have to be driving this kind of car, I ain't dating you.
There's a criteria, is there?
No, but,
There is.
Pause. Just because you drive,
I'm telling you.
I know some very well. There's a difference between rich, who need to show the world, and wealthy, who doesn't need to show. Okay, so those women go after the rich, flashy men for what they have, but being provided for is more substantial than what you can show me. Yeah, you can have the fancy cars and all that, but you're a womanizer. What am I gonna get out of it besides a couple dollars and a Gucci bag?
Let's go back to the stats. Is this more for the 20-year-olds that are
Looking
going
for
after a
sponsors?
certain type of men? Is this something new? Because I feel like us, what are millennials,
I
we
don't- no,
would
I don't think it's
grow with
necessarily a
our
gener-
partners. Like, well, let's grow, let's build together.
I don't think it's a generational thing. I think it's a maturity thing.
or a
Okay.
conditional situation. The way our society is today.
Okay.
The cost of living is just like,
It's
I don't
so
have
high.
time to waste.
To build
You're
with
gonna find
someone.
real quick the truth. You need a balance of both.
Why can't
I'm
there
not
be
saying
a
you should
rich
go-
man provider that is
That's what
good?
I'm saying. You
Why do
gotta
we
go for
automatic-
both. You heard that part? Both. Not just the rich man. You need to find both.
Okay.
Isn't that what we're saying?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
So
I've
okay.
no.
Okay.
I've dealt with a guy who's well off, but feels like because you're taken care of, leave me alone. I'll do me.
You don't
I'll
have
give
nothing
you
to complain.
everything that you need. You're well taken care of. Then let me be. I'm gonna do what I gotta, let me be a man. He's taking care of you. That's all you want.
Have you encountered some women that are like, yeah, I mean, if I'm good, I'll see you tonight. I'll see you whenever. Just
I guess it's your
give me my allowance.
It's about your preference. It's about your preference.
Yeah.
Being provided for.
'Cause
Is
sometimes-
not just financial.
sometimes it's a matter of you be with the broke ones and they doing the same thing. So it's like, hey, you might as well win
Once
something.
again,
Well-
financial is the premise of what you're looking for. You're a broke one or a rich one. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a broke nigga or a rich
I'm just
nigga.
I'm commenting for the
a
ones
mature,
that thought it.
available,
I'm not saying that's me. I'm just saying that.
emotionally available. Okay, like,
I know what you mean.
you know what I mean?
People that did the work.
Yeah, people that did the work and made a lifestyle for themselves. They don't have to be rich or anything, but they can provide for
They
themselves.
have good practice.
Right. You know
Best
what I mean?
practices, yeah.
Have a good human being that love people, care for people, have a general good heart, is looking to care for a woman, take care of a woman
I want
in
to
a very masculine way.
there's whatever that means.
Some bitches on the street.
How can you
Whoa.
tell when a man
that-
has a hatred for women, not just
That
his
part,
woman,
yes.
or they might be besides being a part of these online groups? What are some of the signs that you have noticed that a man has this
Yeah,
kind
talk to
of
Mike,
hatred?
sis.
This kind of hatred, and also feel free to comment. What are some of the signs that you can tell that a man has some deep-rooted hatred for not just his woman, but women in general?
And some men are out here looking for a woman to take care of them as well.
Repeat.
There are some men who are out there looking for a woman to take care of them.
Give
Would
and
that
take,
make
right?
them? Does that make them think less of a woman? Is that?
No,
a
I
reason?
mean, some women are down with that too.
So what are some of
It
those
depends
things?
on what you are looking for in your relationship.
If I have a
Okay.
man, I already know automatically that there are, to some degree, I have to bring something to his life. Like, what am I there for? Just to smile and grin?
Your womb is like 90% of it. I feel.
No, when I say take care of them, I mean financially. I'm not talking about the caring, nurturing side.
I think
I'm
that I
talking
should
about,
have enough wealth that if, for whatever reason, he's like, I need this for an investment or for whatever, I should have enough financial discipline to say, I got you. No answers, no questions. You know, if we're building a life together, that shouldn't bother me because I know there's a return in the end in some way.
If
It's
if there's a plan in act, so he comes up with a plan, a vision, and you buy into the vision,
right.
right? And then you say, all right, I can hold it down for X, Y, and Z because we have a goal we're accomplishing together. That's one part. But there is a group of men who's looking for their soft era. That's what I'm talking about. And they're looking for a woman who's working and take care of them, get their haircuts, get their outfits. I'm talking about those. I'm not talking about a visionary who needs support your woman to hold you down for a certain amount of time. Talk about the more feminine men.
Feminine men. So you're attributing their self-care to feminism?
No, you're looking me to sponsor your self-careness.
Why is that feminist though? Why is that feminine?
Okay, for me,
Feministic,
I'm a very
or-
traditional style woman.
Okay.
I am not paying for your haircut. I'm not doing it. Is it right or wrong? No, that's just my preference.
I feel like if we are caring for each other,
Nope.
If I'm able to care for you in those ways, and you're able to care for me in different ways that I need,
I am here. I will do my gentle feminine acts. And if you are down one day and you need, baby, I had to fix the car and this happened. And babe, I got you. But if you on a regular, sorry, we're not meant for each other. And it's okay. You find your partner, you find your match. But I'm not taking care of you in that sense.
If you're doing everything, then that's abuse. That's abuse.
So a lot of women.
If he's doing if you're bringing in the money, right? You're working, you're bringing the money, and you're supporting him, you're supporting yourself, but he's contributing enough that all the responsibilities aren't just on your shoulder. I don't get it. What's the difference?
I'm not talking about that case neither.
Oh, okay. You talking about someone completely abusing you.
Like Taraji's movie.
Not okay.
Where she was taking care of him while he was working on this dream, right? And it took longer.
No. Don't talk about that movie. That movie messed me up.
Okay. But she took care of him, and this is what you're saying.
I can't. That movie needs to be studied and studied again, turned over, read backwards, and studied two more times.
Maybe we need to do an episode on that. I need to watch it.
All right. Let's go back to.
Yes,
okay,
let's close.
I want to say one more thing.
Close.
Natalie made a point. She said if her son is, if her son was abused in any way, she told him to make noise, right?
Yeah, if a girl hit him,
fall out.
Ladies, that goes for you too. Oh my goodness. You know how many times I'll tell you a story.
Yes. When they rubbing on your thigh.
With my youngest daughter in my hand and another container of milk in the other, I had a man grope me, touch me physically, and I couldn't do anything. I had to drop the milk and grab this person by their hand and do one of those thumb twists. And I didn't, and I said, stop it right now. People were sleeping, right? I wish that I would have screamed. I would have threw the milk everywhere. I wish I would have made the biggest scene. Because if you don't do that, you're not the victim. You're the perpetrator. It's because of you, something you did that made this
flip
happen.
It on you. Yep.
The moment in your workplace, not just sexual, but the moment someone crosses the line, they say something ignorant, they look at you left, make noise. I had to learn that. And I'm still trying to tell myself to do this. Don't be quiet. Don't make noise. And it's still a struggle for me because people will get away with as much as they can at the expense of your mental health, at the expense of your overall well-being. And then you be the person at fault in the end. No.
Yeah. You don't want to hurt their feelings.
Because, especially for boys. It's because I have 4 boys, right? And, if they do get into a situation, you don't want them, and the girl did initiate. This already happened. And I'm like, you most likely, in a lot of situations, the woman will be hurt first as your man. If you hit her, it's unfortunate, at that situation. I'm like, no matter what happened, I tell him not to hit the girl back. However, depending on how severe it is, it depends. But make noise. Tell her to stop. She's hitting me. Get someone in authority, since they are in school, attention and involved immediately. Don't let it slide. Don't let it. At the first offense, make some noise. Make sure you come home and you tell me so I can make them phone calls. And so they know,
someone calls you a name, say, excuse me, what was that? Did you hear what she just said? Because they'll make you feel like you're the crazy one. You didn't. I didn't say that. You draw attention to it right away. There was this kid, and we were at a school. I won't say what school, but I was monitoring the classroom, and I was mentoring the students for math, something like that. And the kid was just not listening, being disobedient, being disruptive. And I asked him to stop. He said, no, that's what I'm going to say. You hit me. If you like pretty much saying, if you keep it up, I'm going to say you hit me. I was like,
Oh, like lie?
yeah, you hit me. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a serious concern. And I don't want to downplay how you feel. Let's go to the office. Oh, no, I was just joking. I said, no, we're going to report this.
Oh, no.
Because if you feel like you're in harm's way, let's get it on paper. Because I got to protect myself too. I mean, like, he never thought that I would
React that way.
keep going.
He was being manipulative.
Yeah. And so I went to principal and I was like, this young man in front of the whole classroom believes that I put my hands on him. And there were plenty of other students, one other staff member that can say that wasn't the case, but I do want this to be,
documented.
Yeah,
So
because
he said, if you don't stop, I'll accuse you of something you didn't
So
do.
what did the kid do?
So then the principal or the attendant, after school attendant said, is that true? And he said, no, it's not true. And they made him stay in the office. And I don't know if he was dismissed from the program after that, but you don't play like that.
Exactly. Everything is serious. As serious as it can be.
I think
It make noise.
this goes back to the original. These women that have lost their lives, how many signs, how many signals, how many things, red flags, warning signs,
911 calls.
911 calls, for you. So definitely, and if you're out there, pay attention to the signs, the symbols, the angry stares, the side looks, the purchasing of a weapon, just all those things.
Threats.
The threats, how his anger is escalating, the words he's using. I'm gonna kill you. You think he's saying that out of anger, but how often do thoughts? Because it begins with thought. Once it becomes a word, how soon will the word become an action?
And don't stick around to find out.
It's so much harder too when you are in a relationship already and there's kids involved. It gets hard.
It gets emotional.
It's emotional.
That's not ride or die.
I don't want to say like to exaggerate.
Yeah.
I don't want to mislead I don't want what I said to be taken the wrong way. I'm not saying exaggerate the situation and change your story to be worse than what it is. I'm just saying most of the time women downplay what they go through or experience. Stick to your truth and say it like it is, and it's wrong, period. Don't downplay it.
Yeah.
And if they say, oh, such and such, my mom left me, or all my exes left me, you gonna leave me too? I thought you was a ride or die. That's not the ride or die that you gonna ride.
Yeah,
and you're gonna die. Don't let that get into your head. You don't want to ride or die for those kinds of things. You can ride or die to support them if they're not, if their health fails or they lost their job.
Yes.
That is a ride or die.
Yeah.
You don't ride or die through abuse. Like, oh, you're gonna call the cops on me. You know what the cops do to black people. You know what's gonna happen to me in jail. Maybe one time we can call a family and get it situated, but if it keeps happening over and over again, leave and do not stay, and do not let that person tell you that you're just like the rest of their family members and they've been through so much and you're gonna leave me too. You brought it on yourself by continuing to abuse me. Right. So no, I will not ride or die through abuse.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Tonight's episode was really real, really rooted, really heavy.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But we do thank you for watching and being with us. Share it with anybody who you feel could hear it, could use this information. Sorry.
I was just gonna say our prayers go out to these women that we mentioned today.
And their families.
Yep.
And their family. And let justice be served, whatever that looks like.
Yes.
Was
so
that had like a hidden meaning. Whatever that looks like.
No, just
All to the
justice
family.
be served, whatever that looks like, whatever the court decides. But ultimate judgment in this life and judgment in the next, because this life is temporary. Your soul lasts forever. That's where the judgment is really gonna hit. And people
just
don't think
leave.
about that.
If it gets too heated, just take a break from each other. Just leave. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yes, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
It has
Rooted in Real
been
Delva Diaries.
Yep. Thank you for listening to
Rooted in Real Delva Diaries.
Good night.
Have a good night.